to the Coach's Call. I have the electro music artist Salme Dahlstrom with us live from New York.
Yay!
Welcome back, Salme. How are you?
Thank you. I'm great. How about you?
I'm good. It's
Yeah.
playoff hockey time, so although one of the teams that I cheer for, the Montreal Canadiens, are not in it, I
Oh,
still love
really?
hockey.
I didn't
Yeah.
notice.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Playoff hockey is great. My
I
blood pressure is up, I'm a little more agitated than usual, a little more animated.
You
It's
have
all,
been nice to me. I gotta say, you have been nice to me. You haven't mentioned the Montreal Canadiens in our text back and forth the last few weeks. So
well, my shrink says I gotta try to be nicer to people. No. I wish them well. I think every team, you hang around long enough, every team's gonna come back and have their day, and so so
yeah,
right now I understand you're all shooting for the number one pick. And that's good. We've all been there.
they have a 7.5% chance of getting that number
That's
one
seven
pick.
and a half percent more than the Rangers.
That's right.
Yes.
Or than the previously Stanley Cup winning Toronto Maple Leafs since 1967. So
Oh,
just
not that anyone's counting, but we,
nobody's
we
counting.
we don't worry about Toronto because they're cursed.
What do you think? Do you think they are?
Of course.
What is it? What's the curse? Is it
Well,
just is it the fans? Is it born in the
no, no,
Milwaukee?
it's whatever it was. What was it? It's a known fact about money or something. Somebody who didn't pay a debt or something. Isn't that the curse?
Oh, is that what it is? I just thought it was maybe the Harold Ballard curse or the previous owner there, Ballard days or
Maybe. I
you know
mean,
what? Before I moved to Southern Ontario, I tried not to really follow them
yeah.
and we had options back in the day of what team we could watch on TV. It's all changed now, but um things are a little different. So, you know what? I heard today that well, now in the first round, because we're talking first round hockey,
Yeah.
it'll be the first time since 2016 that there are no sweeps in the first round.
Oh, really? So
Yeah.
it's fairly even, or
Yeah, was it
that the
the I think the
observation?
Rangers might have might have had that opportunity if they had beaten the Devils last night. They would still be in. I think they were the last team, right? Because they were 2-0. They were the last team, right?
I
This
possibly,
round. Yeah.
possibly, yes. And I think given how the first two games went, I think a lot of people, including myself, thought it was a possibility. And I'd be a lot more cocky today talking to you about a sweep if they were 3-0. But yeah, I mean, it's playoff hockey, so you never kind of know what's going to happen, I think. And also, I think looking at all the series right now, this is the Rangers Devils. I try to be objective and I can't. I'm a Rangers fan. It's probably the most uneven, yeah, at least the first two games, like where the one team was a lot better than the other one. All the others seem kind of more even. I don't know.
So
That's
I haven't gotten a lot of New York Rangers, New Jersey Devil game in me this opening round.
Mhm.
Has the Rangers, have they outplayed the Devils?
Yes, the first two games was they basically ate them alive.
Wow.
And last night it was more even. Um, I'd like to think that the Rangers were still the better team. It goes to overtime, anything can happen, sort of.
Yeah.
Um, but I think to a lot of people, the Rangers were underdogs coming into this, playing the Devils because the Devils have been so good
Hmm.
this year. Um, and so far, it hasn't turned out that way, but we'll see what happens. I'm going to the
Is it,
game tomorrow, so it's very important that they win.
are you going to be all decked out in your Ranger gear or
Yes.
is
Yes.
everybody decked out? Is there Ranger fever going on in New York?
I don't know if it's a fever yet.
Hmm.
Last year, the whole city kind of really embraced hockey and the Rangers. And I think there's some of that going on, and the further they get, the fever is going to rise, sort of. But I think looking at the audience at the first two games, it was almost like a 50-50 split between Rangers and Devils out in Jersey. And last night, you had to look very, very hard to find a Devils fan in the audience. So I expect that to be the same thing tomorrow. So it'll be fun. It'll be me and 20,000 of my closest friends.
So I think I disappointed you when I texted you and said to you, I can't believe the Rangers are leading this series.
Well, I'm used to getting beat up, so no. No,
I
I think
can't
you have
believe they're up.
I think you have a point. I do, because the Devils have been this surprise, fabulous team during the regular season. But I think we both know that the playoffs is a completely different animal, right? And you've seen this before where I think the Rangers beat Tampa in the regular season 3-0 or 4-0, whatever, and didn't go so well in the conference final, right? It happens all the time. And frankly, I think if I have to guess why the Rangers have done so well, it's because the playoffs are a lot more physical and the Devils are a tiny team. They have Timo Meier, who's physical, and then the rest are not. So, and they're also very inexperienced. So those two things, I think, work in the Rangers' favor and have worked. If it's going to carry them all the way, remains to be seen.
Are you calling a Rangers victory over the Devils then, or what?
No, I'm saying we'll see how it goes, but I think I was merely listing things that I think could work in the Rangers' favor.
You don't want to jinx them.
If I could predict the future,
Come on.
oof. But in my heart, I believe that the Rangers will win the cup.
Wow.
Yes.
Here comes that will. Here comes that will again. Affirmation. Yeah. You said the word fabulous, and you reminded me, you just released a fabulous album, right?
I did. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Playing it.
Electro swing pop.
Yeah. I kind of like that. Do you?
I love it.
Yeah. It's kind of fun, and
I'm not just reciting one of the lyrics here. I do love it.
No. Are you guilty also, as a girl can be?
I have to stop it. Guilty as ... How about that?
Okay. I mean, I don't know.
But that is a great little tune. I love it. It's got swing.
It does. It is fun to play with those old samples.
How did you find time to do that in the middle of all the hockey stuff that we were doing? So,
well, this happened before all the hockey stuff.
Just before the playoffs.
Yes.
Right.
I don't sleep a lot. I like to work.
And you've got something else coming on the horizon too, right?
Do I?
Another album?
Yes. Oh, yes. I'm actually working on a solo record.
Right.
I know. I say that all the time, but it's true. And it's going really well. I'm being very creative right now, and it's all kind of falling into place. So in about 3-4 years, you'll have a record.
4 years?
No. But I am pretty slow, and I like to blame it on the fact that I do everything myself, almost. Like I play all the instruments and I record them, and then it's the whole producing process of cutting it up and, turning it into what it is and being innovative and all of that, and mixing and all that stuff. So.
And then having good days and busy days and all sorts of days in between while you're doing all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think somebody said that if you get 2 or 3 hours of creativity out of an artist in a day, that's amazing,
Right on. Well, we're looking forward to that. And while you're doing that, we're talking about, you said, well, going slow. there's nothing, and we're talking hockey again. I don't see any slowness in any of the games this year in the NHL. Everything's like hyper speed. It looks dangerous out there.
Yes.
Um, I think, half the players are probably already injured and we don't even know it.
Yes. It's
So
been physical, like
yeah.
across the board, much more than usual, right? Much more animosity. I don't know what it is. And it's faster than ever.
How are the refs in the New Jersey Rangers series? Are they invisible, or are they uh you know factoring into the game results, or
Right. So there's a lot of controversy about the refs. And again, just like you read any fan base's, Facebook group comments, when there's a win, they love the refs. And then when they don't, it's the refs' fault. And then I find that there are certain teams that really take that, including like not only the fans, but actually you have the coaches and the players blaming the refs. Um, I'm going to come out and say it. I'm not a big Oilers fan. In part because, you know, they keep blaming the refs, including the coach, right?
yeah,
You look at the LA Kings Oilers game from 2 nights ago,
yeah,
um, saying, oh, the best player in the world, what's his name again? Anyway, he raised his hand, so therefore, of course, the LA Kings player touched the puck, and I'm like, that happens all the time. And then you look at it and you go, Toronto, right? The situation room, whatever it's called, they looked at it from every angle and said, he didn't touch it. And then they come out and say, well, they wanted the Kings to win, so Toronto called it that way. I'm not saying the Oilers, actually, Oilers coach didn't say that, but that was kind of the fan base that said, that's. And I'm like, if we go with the conspiracy theories, I think NHL wants McDavid to win a cup. So this makes no sense at all, So that's kind of my take on the refs. I think the refs are doing what they can. It's a super fast game. They don't get it all right. I could argue last night the penalty that the Rangers took when Shesterkin beat on Meyer for falling on top of him on purpose, where the Devils scored on the power play, right? Timo Meyer got away with one because he actually accidentally on purpose fell down on Shesterkin and should have had a penalty for that. Yeah, I didn't hear anybody from the Rangers say anything about that. It's the game, it happens, But once you go down the rabbit hole, I think that's what you do, right?
you're being so kind to the refs, because
You don't like the refs?
no.
Oh, okay.
Oh, did I say that really fast?
Yes,
I do,
that was like something. Okay, so why? What's your deal with the refs?
they have no ability to have any consistency whatsoever. Like I was watching the Toronto Maple Leafs and Tampa Bay Lightning last night, and there's this one goal that gets taken away from the Tampa Bay Lightning. The ref, he blows the whistle as the Tampa Bay player Braden Point is double. He hits it once, hits it twice, is going in the net. Oh, well, I lost sight of the puck. Meanwhile, it's in play and the players are still in motion.
Yeah,
The goal, and there's replays that show, right? Well, no, I blew the whistle. And I was kind of listening to it. I went, that's really close to saying that I blew the whistle because I couldn't see. But why are you blowing it dead? Today, the Boston Bruins are playing the Florida Panthers, and there's a similar play.
yeah,
And the ref, he does lose sight of it, but it goes in and they count it as a goal. So last night, it's no goal.
right.
Today, it's a goal.
But
I'm
correct
just
me if I'm
asking for
wrong.
consistency.
They don't have the right to review it, right, and change it.
No, they went to video review last night.
They did.
Yeah.
But if it's my understanding that even if the ref hasn't blown the whistle, but he intended to, it's still a no-go, right? I think
Okay.
I picked that up along the way somewhere.
No, no,
being
okay.
agitated, right?
Let's.
But I mean, I guess it happens. It's not great, but they're humans, you know. And do you think there's a conspiracy theory where they wanted Tampa to lose and Boston
No,
to win?
no.
I think it's just human error, right?
I don't think there's a conspiracy theory. I just think they're bad at what they do, and
Okay.
they're not consistent with what they do. In fact, last night I made a mock um, certificate, and I
Ooh,
posted it on Twitter, and I said, "Here, just fill your name in this. Any one of us could be NHL referees, because that's about as much certification as you need right now
right.
to be a good NHL referee."
Okay.
That's and I'm just like, I've watched these games, and it isn't just, if you've seen my last couple of episodes, everybody says, well, you harp on the Toronto Maple Leafs, and I don't. I provide
Right.
objective, feedback on the games. I've noted it in other games too. They're inconsistent. And you gave the Edmonton Oiler example, right? That that's been a long time thing with Edmonton and some of the ref calls as well out there. So I, do I like when a team complains about the refs in terms of the outcome of the game? I don't, right? It's kind of like, look, the ref is going to make the call. I did a show once with Ryan Walter of the Montreal Canadiens, former Stanley Cup champion. Now he's an author, etc. And one of the things he kind of said was, you know what? Don't use the ref as an excuse. You want to make a difference? Go out there and get the next goal or make the next play. And I get it. I agree with him on that. Sometimes though, the way the refs go, you just can't come up for air. You don't catch a break. There's hooking calls that I'm thinking, the stick wasn't even near that guy. Then
Right.
then you got a situation where the guy's getting whacked over. Then today, I look at Boston Bruins, Montreal Canadiens. We don't go together, right? If
Oh,
you're Canadiens fans, you're not going to cheer for the Bruins. But today, Linus Ullmark, their goalie, gets attacked by Kachuk, right?
of
And he
course.
kind of he kind of backs off a little bit, Kachuk goes at him a second time, and Allmark gives him a couple of pushes, throws his gloves as if like, let's fight. Allmark gets thrown out of the game.
Yeah.
Why does a goalie who got attacked get,
Right.
because he threw his gloves off? Makes no sense to me. Makes no Now whatever. Boston won that game, and the
Yeah.
backup goalie came in, and it didn't change the score, and it was already late in the game.
But it
But I'm
could
just
have,
going.
right?
I
I mean,
guess, yeah.
but I think that brings around a bigger point, which is the fighting that we all love. You
Right.
know, in hockey, it's part of why I think everybody who loves hockey, we want to see a little blood every now and then, preferably devil's blood, but still. Uh, but this whole thing that if there's a legal hit, then you got to fight, and then you get a 5-minute major
Right.
as well as the guy who jumped you. I think that's so wrong. I
Yep.
mean, if it is a legal hit and you get attacked, only the other guy should go, and you should have the right to defend yourself. Yes,
Yeah,
I think
I'm
we
okay
brought
with
it
that.
up on the last meeting, the
Yep.
owners meeting, and they didn't really come to any conclusion. I'm like, okay,
Yeah. No, look at the outrage, you know, what was that? Wasn't there just a show? Who did Chris Rock just did a show, Selective Outrage, right?
oh,
Any
okay,
NHL fans have selective outrage
yeah,
because if they're in their home city and a nice clean check come and it's a hard hit against the board and it makes the thunder, that booming sound along the boards, and you go, oh,
yeah,
that was a good hit, right?
yeah,
And then the fan base has selective outrage. They get upset. Oh, it was illegal. You can't hit our guy like that. And then the scrum ensues, and and like you say, there's a fight, right?
yeah,
Meanwhile, the guy who delivered the clean hit is going, what? Like it's a hockey hit.
yeah,
When those are okay to me. It's like, hey, if you get attacked, then you should not get the penalty for having that initial.
right,
If somebody comes at you, you got to fight. Why is it my fault that I had to fight? Like, I delivered a clean hit, right?
yeah,
It's the non-clean hits. It's those ones, and the chaos that ensues. It's like, let's be fair about it, man. Throw them out, right?
yeah,
Throw them out.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, it it's a lot of heart and soul, right?
There
And
is.
it's very tribal, all of it. So. I try not to do it too much, but it's hard, right? You see your favorite player go down, and you're like, oh my God, that's so wrong, and like kill him, kill him.
Right.
But when Trouba takes out Sidney Crosby, it's just right. It just feels good. I sleep so well later,
It's not even in the playoffs this year.
No, but last year, allegedly, that's why the
Right.
Penguins lost to the
Oh,
Rangers because of that clean hit on Sidney.
you know what? Wild though. Sidney Crosby's not in the playoffs. Ovechkin's not in the playoffs.
Feels
Like
good,
there's
right?
a
Feels
bit of a
right.
turning of a guard, if you will. Maybe, who knows?
Yeah. Oh, I think so. Definitely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think both those teams tried. They wanted to give those guys another shot, but it just didn't work out. And I'd be surprised if they didn't start a real rebuild,
Oh
because
yeah.
otherwise they're just gonna prolong what's gonna happen anyway.
Yeah.
I don't think this was an accident of any sort.
So you're rocking the New York Rangers colors there. You're going to the game tomorrow night.
Yes,
Are you are you adding to the collection of Ranger wear or t-shirt
of
or
course.
jersey, or what are you going for? Do you know
I
yet,
don't
or
know. I kind of, spontaneously, I'm gonna like walk into the store there and,
yeah.
just close my eyes and go, you know.
Wow.
No, I don't know. I mean, last night everybody got a t-shirt. Everybody on every chair there was one of these.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Hey, that's cool.
courtesy of Chase, apparently, if I may
Right
say
on.
so on air.
Oh yeah, sure.
That's what I saw. So I'm kind of hopeful that maybe there's a present,
Nice.
and I have
What
really nice seats, so maybe even a beer. I don't know.
So are you I was gonna say, when you're going to the games, what are you? Like, are you a beer and popcorn? Are you a beer and pretzel? What's the
I do like my beer, but also I have to say this as a shout out to Madison Square Garden. Um, Venue food, arena food is generally not very good, right?
yeah.
You get your fried stuff and all that. Well, Madison Square Garden, they've brought in like serious food. And I don't think you should go for the food, but they have like Tao sushi. If you know
Oh
Tao, the
wow.
restaurant Tao.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can get their sushi. You get like serious like Kobe beef if you want, and like it's really, really good food for what it is, you know.
They've ritzed
And
it up.
beyond. Yes. So I kind of like that. But it's still Budweiser beer for me, but which is not really beer, but yeah. I don't know. It's exciting though.
We have 8% alcohol beer up here, so
Yeah,
anything.
you're good.
We're good.
Now I'm thinking like, does Sweden have that? They might.
I
No. Not.
I
What is
was
8% beer?
What is it?
What kind of beer is that?
Uh there was this one called the Molson High Dry.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So when I
One
come
time
when I come to Canada, we'll go and I mean, I'll have half a glass and just like pass out, but
we have to go to Quebec to get that.
huh?
They don't
Because
serve it in Ontario. There's a high it's allowed in Quebec. It's not allowed in Ontario.
oh,
So when we went to Montreal and we had, you know, we went to a place and there was a deal or something. It was, if you bought two beers, you get them for $5.
oh,
And the only problem was they give you these two beer that are 8.5% alcohol each.
it was not a
And
strip club then. We've
you
established this.
know it was,
Okay.
and you could only, like, you have to down these beers before you go to the game, right? And all of a sudden you're going, okay, those were strong beers, right? So
Oh, okay. So the game got a little special.
right away.
Okay. It
the
was
refs look
excellent.
the refs looked great that game.
Oh, okay. So that's now you know what it takes. It takes two 8% beer.
By the way, any children listening to this episode, we do not endorse, like
We
high
do
alcohol
not. We don't.
drinking.
What don't we adore? Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, right.
That
Um,
strippers. I mean, to each their own, though, right? I'd like to endorse all those things, but I won. I have to tell this story because it's really
Yeah.
fun, and I'll send you the photo and you can maybe post it. So, uh, Madison Square Garden has this charity called the Garden of Dreams. So every year they raise money for it, and they have a raffle with it, where for every $100 you buy a ticket for, you get a raffle ticket. Um, every time you donate $100, you get a raffle ticket. And so I try to donate a little bit every year. The money goes to good things like, kids who need educations and food and clothing and stuff like that, that a lot of us take for granted. So anyway, this year I won I won 2 tickets to the Sabres game.
Oh, cool.
All right, which was like 10 days ago, whatever, 2 weeks ago. And I won a picture on the ice afterwards. And
Oh, right on.
right, it's actually a huge thing. I was like, okay, that sounds kind of cool, whatever.
Yeah.
But you get there after the game and they lead you down. They know, and they have their own photographer. They like take your phone and they have like their press photographer and everything. And they point out and go like, that's the spot you're gonna stand at. And then they take the picture and it just looks like, the dome, why it's the greatest, biggest arena in the world, or what is it, the world's most famous arena. So anyway, so I got that picture. It was a very big moment. It was like holy
That
eyes.
is awesome. That is a thrill.
I thought so.
Oh, you got to send us that. We'll include it.
I'll send it. It's actually a picture of me and my daughter because I took her to the game.
Oh, right on.
Yeah,
You guys had fun.
we had a lot of fun.
And what a way to end! Like so after the game, you're on the ice with her.
Yes, it was really nice. Holy ice.
That is awesome. The only other place that could be that thrilling would be Montreal. So like
Right. So have you been on the ice in Montreal?
A few years ago now, we never made it to I never made it to the Montreal Forum. I made it to the current one,
Okay.
the Bell Center, but never made it to the Montreal Forum. But the way that what they did with the old forum is they converted it into another building, and they left the center ice area intact.
Oh,
So
wow.
you can actually go and sit in some stands and kind of be where the center ice used to be.
That's very cool.
Yeah, it was really neat. And then they have all these really neat things all around that part of the building and the arena and things like that. So it was kind of cool.
Very cool.
Yeah. So what are you calling it? Is this let's end it this way. Let's do some predictions.
Ooh, I love predictions.
I'm hoping, I'll say this. I'm hoping the Rangers win so that you can come back and we'll do a second round show and keep it going. See how long we
Thank
can do
you.
this.
I appreciate
So,
that. And
there you go.
before, this is the disclaimer. It's not real. It's a prediction. So don't hold me to it. This is going to be from the heart when it comes to the Rangers. And my absolute objective, I hate Connor McDavid, predictions,
Wow.
forward. How about that?
Wow. Okay.
And hate is a strong word, but they kind of brought it on themselves at this point, I think.
Rangers and how many?
5.
Wow, really? Rangers in 5. Okay, how about this? The Islanders and Carolina.
It's over. Next one. 5. But it's the 5.
That'll be in 5. Carolina in 5.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay and Toronto Maple Leafs.
It's definitely 7. And I don't know who's going to win that one. I don't. I know what you want me to say, but I don't know. You can't count Tampa out. Plus, there's the curse.
So you're picking Tampa.
No, I'm saying I really don't know. That one, I mean, you could put a shooting squad in front of me and I would not be able to give you a better answer.
Okay, Boston and Florida.
Boston is it in 5 even? 5 or 6?
They got a stranglehold. It's 3-1 now. Colorado and Seattle.
No, it's 3. Yeah, it's 3-1, right?
Yeah, it is 3-1.
Right. 3-1. Yeah.
Colorado and the Kraken.
What's there? It's 2-1, right? Colorado in 6.
Minnesota and Dallas.
Minnesota in 7.
Wow. That's really a weird
I
one, eh?
have
It's
no
like
idea. I really just went with that. No, but
that's
that's what
okay.
I think. I think so. Plus
You know,
Revo, our old, friend Reeves is in Minnesota, so that's part of the heart there. I like
all
him.
right.
I miss
I
him.
it, for me, it's a weird series. It's like Minnesota's playing Minnesota because of the Dallas Star old Minnesota connection. But
Yeah.
Golden Knights versus the Jets,
Probably Golden Knights in 6.
and then your favorite, the Oilers versus the Kings.
Oh, Jesus, what can I do there? And by Jesus, I don't mean Connor McDavid. um, I I think the
Uh,
Kings have that one.
wow.
Do in 6, maybe 7.
Phil Deneau is going to be eating pizza if they win. He's going to start his tradition that he started back in with the Montreal Canadiens. So
Is that a
I
bad
thought,
thing?
well, I don't know. I
Yeah.
miss him. I wish the Habs still had him. I don't know why. I just thought of something, and it's not hockey related, but um, I'm gonna bring it in because for whatever reason, LA, you were recently at Nam, right?
I was.
Yeah. How was that? Sorry,
It was
we're
loud.
cutting this off. It was loud, eh?
It was loud. I haven't. So NAM is all new music instrument, whatever
Yeah.
goes on that side of of the industry with like new gear of any
Yeah.
sort. You have it there, and I haven't been in quite a few years, so I decided to go check out some of the new stuff. But also, you meet a lot of friends, and you do business with people, and the whole networking thing. So it was really, really nice.
Right on.
Anaheim.
And it's
And
like,
the weather was terrible, but it was nice.
oh, that's disappointing.
It was 90 degrees up here in the Northeast, and it was like 55 and raining there. And I was like, okay.
That's
And
messed up.
they did have palm trees though, so I give them that.
I'll go with the palm trees, but the weather's messed up, just like the Toronto Maple Leafs
Yes.
and the referees that are having fun in the NHL.
So here's a question for you. So
Yeah,
how many years, when do we see Montreal in the playoffs again?
2 more years.
2 more years. Wow, that's quick.
Not. I don't think they'll make the playoffs next season. They might make it the following season.
Okay. Is Price
Yeah.
coming back?
No, I hope he doesn't.
Right. But it's still a question mark, right?
I mean, I think it's beyond a question mark. I
Okay.
don't.
But he hasn't officially retired or
Um, if you're getting $10 million a year and you're guaranteed that for 5 years, but if you retire, things change. What's the rush?
okay. Oh, I know. I see. I did not know that.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, every time that's happened to me, I kind of take it slow too.
right. So- all right. There is Salme Dahlstrom, and she gave you her predictions, not her spoilers.
Right.
And that's the coach's call. Thanks for doing this, and welcome back again, Salme.
Thanks for having me. Go Rangers.
Yay.